the quantum leap that is available to you. And this is if you're seeking more money, more reach, you want to have more visibility, easier success, more soul alignment, really feeling that enrichedness of your business. There's a quantum leap available to you when you do the spiritual work. And I'm going to dig into what I mean about that, because it kind of grinds my gears a little bit that, I guess people feel that it's all about the strategy, and the strategy is it's the lifesaver. It's the thing that moves the needle, shifts the needle, and it isn't. And it's certainly not the fast way, right? So that is because life is always teaching us lessons, and our number one job is to receive those lessons, is to, the shaman calls it being in dynamic receptivity. Listening, hearing, when you can step into observer energy when life's happening through you, you can kind of identify what life's bringing to you, right? What life is bringing up. We've all got core wounds. We've all got things that we believe that perhaps don't serve us. We've all got certain attachments to things being a certain way, right? So, when stuff's happening in our life, we can allow it to bring through to us what might be really holding us back from the thing that we want. Yesterday in the medicine temple, so each week I do this beautiful medicine temple and I invite my divine flow clients. We had 2 sessions yesterday. We had our just normal weekly coaching session, mentoring session, but we also had what we call the quantum leap session as well. And in this quantum leap session, we actually decided to focus in on what people's energy was saying about the specific soul lesson that they were meant to be learning right now, which was super powerful, because what had come up in the earlier session was certainly around, for one client, their self-worth. You think about wanting more reach, wanting more success, wanting the soul aligned clients, the soulmate clients, and maybe you think you go straight to, I'm not putting enough, I'm not choosing the right reels strategy, I'm not doing the right thing with my marketing, I'm not doing enough, doing, when really, if you can clear the energy within that is blocking you receiving the abundance in, you're going to quantum leap yourself to the place that you want to be. And so it was really coming up that there was a self-worth thing going on about how this client felt that they might be judged or received, and because of that feeling that was coming up as they were going to take the action, they were blocking themselves, they were pulling back, they perhaps weren't, you have that creative authenticity, that the inspiration comes through and then the mind kicks in, and then it never ends up how the heart felt it in the first place. You feel in the moment that you want to say something to someone, and then the mind kicks in and then you say something completely different. Something that I said to my client yesterday was that the minute that you look outside of yourself for validation of who you are, you will see yourself in the place of your deepest fears. So whether that is that you don't believe that you're good enough, that you don't believe that you're beautiful, that you don't believe that you're sexy, that you don't believe that you're going to say the right thing, the minute that you seek outside of yourself for validation of what you are, who you are, you actually bring yourself down to the level of your fear-based energy, and you actually are perceived in that way, because that is the energy that comes from you. It's a lack energy that comes from you. It's an ugly energy that comes from you. It's toxic, horrible shit that comes from you, right? So actually, for us to change anything in our external world, we have to be going in here, which means we do have to be listening. We do have to be present in every day of our business, especially our business, because we're interacting with people, we're pushing outside of comfort zones, we're, playing with money. Stuff is going to come up. Triggers are going to come up. Feelings are going to come up. Something else that, I always talk about business, always, but obviously in the last however many months, I I ended a marriage, and it has been wild how the journey in terms of love has been so parallel to the journey that I took with money and with my business, identifying what within myself was creating my money blocks, now identifying what within myself will block me being in any sort of relationship ever again, right? So it's like listening, observing your own energy, observing your own reactions. What happens when we feel something? Usually a feeling is very intense, and so immediately we just become the feeling, right? We get lost in the drama of what the feeling is reacting to, and the moment to grow is lost. Right, so it's like how, if we start to bring this into metaphysical terms and we pull away from like trying to control outcomes, trying to attach ourselves to the things that we think are going to create safety, security, money, whatever else, and we actually say, okay, there is a metaphysical growth path here to take. And this metaphysical growth actually creates the 3D growth. It's the fastest route, it's the quantum leap. And so in this session yesterday in the Medicine Temple, what we were looking at was these paths of metaphysical growth, because you have them all through your body, right? Your energy sits in certain places in your body. You might have heard spiritual teachers talking about your lower energy centers and your higher energy centers. And, you know, these sort of higher centers are our ascension, they are our transcendence, they are our unity, they are our manifestation, which may lead you to think that these lower centers are actually a negative thing, and they're not. They're wisdom centers, right? They are all of the experiences gifted to you, past, present, future, to grow, to lift, to ascend, to move, to learn. But we've got to understand what the soul lesson is, right? So this is what we were doing. We were looking, one of my clients was right up in the higher energy centers, and she was literally taking that step energetically into an entirely new octave of frequency. But the lesson that she had to learn was unity, that God self, embrace that creative power, let go to knowing that you are all, and there's none of these little separate aspects of ourself. We're all part of one unified whole, right? You got to let go of the I, the little I's, and know that you are part of this everythingness, and yet it's nothing at all, right? We are being invited to take these soul lessons by listening to what is happening in our everyday world. And I think where I'm going with this, the learning that I want you to take away from this is we react. Right? We react to the situation that we're in. We are already attached to the outcome that we see unfolding from the situation that we're in. This is happening. I remember this from way back where, who knows, who cares, but this is how I'm now going to manifest the outcome, by holding on to that outcome in my fears, right? And instead, we're being invited to let go. We're being invited to clear space. We are being invited to have a soul lesson. The soul wants to come home to itself, to your fullness, to your wholeness, to your most authentic creative expression, your most radical expression, and again, yesterday this came up around how we're received, right? That maybe our voice will sound funny if we go in front of the camera, or we won't be able to find the words in the moment, but that's coming from your fear. That's not coming from the reality. Everything is perfect in every single moment, and the perfect person is going to pick up what you put down. If you allow yourself to give. And I've journeyed with this, all the childhood wounds, of like the father wound of you're just too much. You're too much, you're difficult. And trying to integrate that darkness into my light, where did we learn that being too much is a bad thing, right? Where did we learn that we can't express how we feel? Why is there so much fucking shit and stigma around feeling stuff? We can feel, we can open up, we can share. It's like, other people's fear is the problem, not our emotions, right? It's like we can help people to understand that emotion is beautiful. And so, all of this stuff has come up, and it's been really integral to my business growth as well, because where we are in one place, we are in all places, right? So if I was having those insecurities, if I was carrying those wounds in a relationship, then I'm going to carry them in my business as well. I'm going to be playing, like holding back, playing small, not stepping into sacred purpose, and you will as well. So if you keep busying yourself with the next strategy that's going to take your business to the next level, you're going to have a really slow road to hit that next level, or you'll get there and you won't be able to hold on to it. It'll just, you'll go backwards again, because the soul lesson is there to be learned. The soul lesson that you are absolutely innocent and pure and beautiful as you are, in your fullness, in your light. This world that we exist in is a beautifully abundant and safe place. All of this shit that has been programmed into us since the minute we were born, we need to unlearn it and come back to the truth that everything that we need is available to us in infinite abundance if we open our hearts to receive it. So if you want to have that soul lesson, if you are open to the idea that, what's going on in your world right now is actually a gift, right? Whether it is clients that aren't paying, not being able to get clients, things feeling slow, maybe shit going on in your relationship, like whatever it is, it's there on purpose. It's there gifting you some learning. It is, inviting you to let go of beliefs. And in letting these beliefs go, we just open up this beautiful space to receive. And I see this in my clients over and over and over and over again. The more that they let go, the more that they come into neutrality, the more that they step into their own self-love, not just their confidence grows and their social media changes and their brands evolve, and they activate this magnetism that brings clients into them. I call them the backdoor messages. It's where people are actually coming to you and they are hitting up your messenger and they're saying, I want to know how to work with you. Your post impacted me. Instead of all this chase energy that we have and all this shit that we do. If I have learned one soul lesson in the last few weeks, it is that, the power of the universe to work miracles, if you do let go, is insane. And it will it will manifest a 3D reality that is so far outside of your wildest imagination that life really becomes exciting. My business, I am the least attached to the how in my business than I have ever been in my whole life. I'm not even working. I used to brag about my 4-day or 3-day week and my, no more than 4 hours. I'm lucky if I've had 4 minutes in the last few weeks, because I'm living on the side of a hilltop with no internet. I'm here today at a friend's house using her Wi-Fi so that I can give this presentation for Expansion Alchemy. But, I feel into, where has that time been spent? How much is actually changing because of that time? And how much time have I invested because of the, unavoidable space in really tapping into myself and really observing the stuff that has been coming up and really feeling into how I don't want it to be a part of how I go forward. It's not how I want to love. It's not how I want to live. It's old stuff, right? And you have old stuff. You have to clear it. This is the spiritual work. This is the shadow work. This is I call it the classroom. And I use this analogy a lot because I use it in social media too. It's like, what should I post? Use your classroom. Use if you can come into the moment, the sacred present moment, and be present in it, there's gifts everywhere. Your content, the soul lessons, lifting your state, changing your vibration. None of it sits outside of the present moment, but our mind sits constantly outside of the present moment. Our minds constantly change, especially in business. How am I going to do this? How am I going to move that? So again, it's like, okay, well, maybe you're feeling unmotivated. Maybe your creativity is blocked. Maybe you're stuck. Spiritual work, not strategy. It's the fastest way. And, in our medicine temple, we do a lot of journeying using the reptilian brain as an ally. I talk about this in my book. You know, it's there, and it's creating your fear response from the shapes and the colors and the pictures that it remembers, right? Well, use that to your advantage and create good feelings. Change your reality in an instant with your imagination. So we do a lot of journeying in the medicine temple. We work with the body, we work with the breath, we work with sexual energy, waking that shit up to burn through the shit that you're holding onto that is blocking you from your highest self, your highest timeline. And you know, I'm blessed. I realize how blessed I am that since January, pretty much, I've not really publicly had the doors open to the medicine temple, because my life has been in such flux, and I've been looking after myself. I've been focusing on my spiritual work and my spiritual growth and my recovery and my healing and my self-love. But I got the whisper in the last few days that it's time to open those doors again. It's time to invite the next group of people who are ready to do that spiritual work, who are ready to go away from, not completely, right? Because I work with the book funnel, I work with your social media, I work with getting you expanding beyond social media as well, expanding your brand, stepping into your creative authenticity, doing all of it without all the time that it's taking you right now. There is some strategy involved in that, but more it is about your vibration. It is about your frequency. It's about switching on your miracle frequency. It is about teaching you to trust. It is helping you to let go of your fear-based energy. It is helping you to change how you feel about yourself, and like layering up your toolbox with ways of changing state to be in a high vibration as much of the time as possible, and letting this thing go. Like, you're stuck in your mind, and your miracle frequency is the soul frequency, right? It's the soul frequency. This just does no good. It just churns over old shit all the time if you let it. And it also creates what you know. This is the thing. You really want to step into a new octave of frequency, a new reality, an exciting life, more fulfillment, more money. It's not sitting in this vibration. It's sitting in another vibration. It's sitting in it's actually happening right now in another dimension, right? And you have to align to it, right? So it's like, this has to go. We have to let go of this. We have to become comfortable with the unknown. And this is what you don't know, and what you don't know that you don't know. This is the creative wave of chaos. This is true dynamic receptivity with life itself, allowing what comes to you, allowing it to go through you, allowing yourself to have that metaphysical growth, so that your 3D reality matches the growth, the shift in frequency, the ascension up to unconditional love. Nothing, this is what I've, especially the last few weeks, you cannot, you cannot look outside of yourself for validation of anything. Nothing at all. It means fuck all. What means everything is this. What means everything is your belief systems. Collective belief is really strong. There's not just your individual belief systems. There is what is held as collective belief, and we are that reality. This is the truth. We were levitating in the air before some guy came up with gravity, right? It was truth. It was documented. Again, you want to go outside of what is possible right now. You got to go way outside of what you currently believe about yourself, about what's possible, and about the true nature of reality. The true nature of reality is you and all of your infinite possibility. Your vibration in front of you is an infinite field of possibilities. Yes, the known, yes, the unknown, and what you don't know that you don't know. They're like strings, right? If you imagine them in front of you, every single one of them is possible, but the one that will happen is the one that is your vibration, right? That is the one that is most aligned, and this is why we pull in these repeated patterns based on the frequency they're carrying. But if all of those other opportunities exist, maybe it is, the 40, 50K month, when you're only making 10K. Maybe it's a 10K month when you're only making nothing K, right? All of those possibilities exist. We have to change our frequency so that we pull in the one that is matching to us. So the work is within. My client said this yesterday. He's like, I knew it, but now I know it deeper than ever. Like, there's nothing outside of myself. There's nothing more important than this work that we're doing right now. This work within. Creating an awakened blueprint of belief systems. And not being fixed to them even. You know, it's about being open-hearted. Part of being open-hearted is being open to being hurt. Because you can't keep putting your walls up. You can't keep closing down. You can't keep stopping when things get tough. You can't keep choosing the easy route. You can't keep hoping for things to be different. You can't keep hoping for things to change. You've got to be the fucking change, as Mahatma Gandhi or whoever it was said, right? It's you. It's the spiritual work. It has got to be as big, even higher a priority than the strategy. And you've got to find the right mentor, the right community, the right guidance to do that, because it's tough. It's really tough. And I think the beautiful thing about our medicine temple is the focus on the unconscious alchemy as much as the conscious alchemy. Conscious alchemy is like, you know, you're coaching, you're talking it out, you know, very aware shifts. And then there's this beautiful place of unconscious alchemy where we're just working with the energy in your body. We are just creating resonance within so that resonance matches without using lots of different ways. We talked yesterday about the medicine man that used to dance and chant, play the drums because he was aware that it was, it was like to stop droughts and call in, the sun or whatever it was. They felt this intricate connection with nature. But yeah, what I kind of was feeling into was actually, was it just that, or was it because the power of chanting, the power of dance, the power of ritual, the power of ceremony changes our vibration, and we are intricately related to the earth, right? It's like if we're in disharmony and imbalance, then the earth is as well. And maybe that medicine man was doing that. He was bringing himself into the highest frequency, into the highest, the most resonant frequency, the most balance. We're not in balance. We're not in harmony when we're reacting to the stuff going on in our life. And I'm not superhuman. I react as well. But I do have tools to bring myself back and to, like I say, be in that observer energy so that I can do something with what I see. And that's not always, like I say, a conscious process. It's just simply going into the energy of my body and ironing it out. It all works. It's all powerful, and it's all freaking necessary if you really want to take your business to the next level. So I am going to put that call out if you want to talk to me about what the Medicine Temple is, how I coach, how I can help you to shift your income in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and beyond that, really bring you into a soul-aligned place with your brand, with your messaging, with the way that you're putting yourself out there, and expand your reach beyond social media so you're not having to do stuff like this, like go live, post constant content, be strapped to your phone. If you want freedom and you want that lifestyle where it's like your business falls out of your love. I call it the pleasure principle. Pleasure first. Everything else can come from there. Everything else can come from that. But not until you believe it first. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.